Today we are driving 4,500 miles across the world to take an actual Formula One driver to work.
You will soon find out who it is, but what I can tell you, he has brown hair. And we will be asking the questions that nobody else dares to ask.
Right, what is the secret to winning an F1 race?
But if our taxi manages to get there, our only route possible passes through some of the most dangerous countries in the world.
We are actually driving in Iraq.
So for such a crazy ultimate road trip, I had a big decision to choose the ideal car for my collection, and then I finally came to the perfect vehicle.
We are not driving in a supercar, we are driving the pinnacle of the London transport, the Black Cab.
The reason why is, what better car is there to take a Formula One racing driver to work than a black taxi?
And then hopefully it will get us all the way to Abu Dhabi.
But our route is taking us on some of the most extreme terrains in the world.
But I'm not doing it alone.
This is my good friend Steve Bagsy Boy, and what he does for a living you will find out later in this video.
So we're about to set off on probably the most dangerous journey of our lives. But of course, if we're going in the Black Cab, we need to set the meter running. Fair started.
Here we go.
£3.80 already. How's that work?
You scammed yourself.
We are starting this journey from the home of the Black Cab, London. But we have a long way to go.
Do you think we're going to make it all the way to Abu Dhabi in this?
Just about. All right, good luck, yeah?
Cheers, mate. Cheers.
Our first mission is to get to Europe, but so far it's not been plain sailing. Only a few miles after we started this journey, we hit disaster. And a quick motorway hard shoulder inspection revealed an absolute disaster. We had a wheel bearing collapsed. But maybe that's our own fault, as this workhorse cost us only £1,000 off Facebook Marketplace. The only saving grace is the breakdown happened in the UK, and our friend Yam from Trackworks was able to pick us up and drop us off at the outskirts of London at Slip Tyres to hopefully change the damaged wheel bearing. Yam got straight on it, but because we didn't stop immediately, the nut had got that hot it had welded itself to the wheel hub. So we had to go to extreme measures.
That can make it come off easily.
I hope so, Liz.
Luckily it worked. New bearing in and a shed load of grease, as hopefully we will be driving across the hot, dry desert.
Job's a good one. That's about as good as you're getting. It's all down to you now, boys. Yeah, mate. Good to go. No problem at all. No problem.
Right, save the day. We've lost 8 hours. But fingers crossed we'll get to London and then to Dover. So, right, can't get any worse. Can only go up from here. Team.
The only way is up.
Let's face it, our old cheap London cab has got across halfway around the world. It's 12 years old with 300,000 miles on it, which is the equivalent of to the moon and back, literally. But we are going to give it our best shot. But as we are going to the Formula One, we have brought some extra luggage.
What is that? That is a development part for the last race. So we've been working on a new the aero tunnel at work at Cymark Engineering, and we've come up with that. So that is going to save about 0.2 around the Abu Dhabi circuit.
Once we had loaded our precious cargo, we were already in country number 2.
We made it to France.
Shout out to the headlights.
Put a full beam on. That is worse. It actually looks worse.
Another 10 hours, we made it to our first stop at 5 AM in the morning. But the view after our power nap was incredible.
Ready? There she is.
We had woken in this beautiful hotel in Frankfurt where you can go up in a lift and park your car on your balcony, all the way up on the 10th floor.
You'd never forget where you parked, would you?
No, but usually I suppose would be a Lamborghini or a Ferrari or something like that. It'd be a very bougie car, and we've bought the
Our pride and joy.
Big thanks to Be Mine Hotel for hosting us, but after a short sleep, we were back on the road.
Right, next stop, Innsbruck, Austria.
With lots of laughs and spirits high, as we approached the Alps in the fourth country, Austria, the weather took a turn for the worse.
Oh, you're on the white stuff, the slippy stuff, keep on the dogs.
The only saving grace you've got is at least the guy that spends his whole life going sideways and sliding around is at the steering wheel in this current situation.
What Bagsy does for a living is this. He is one of the best drifters in the world, so in this current circumstance, he is the best man for the job.
If we were looking to jump the taxi, we could swap.
So with the sliding expert at the wheel, he had us covered on the dangerous conditions. We stopped off at Innsbruck for some rest, but in the morning, we had a problem.
It's -7.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Development ring's got a bit of snow on it.
No, top secret development part.
Oh, sorry.
All joking aside, this extreme cold weather had not done the taxi any favours sat overnight.
We found the problem. I don't think there's enough antifreeze in the engine because this top red hose is frozen solid. There's no flex in it at all. So the water's obviously not going to flow.
So it's just going to overheat.
No. The engine's going to get warmer. That means we're going to get warmer in the cab. This is a positive.
The taxi was sounding a little ropey.
Yeah, I don't know what's going to be worse. Freezing cold taxi or boiling hot taxi.
That's the thing, that right now we're moaning and probably be going, God, that was ice when it was freezing cold.
Yeah. I'll do a burnout.
Go on, you won't.
Yeah! Do it! Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Skid.
We hit the road hoping the warmth of the engine would melt the frozen hoses, but the whole trip we had problems with the cab's internal heating.
No, the ice is now on the inside, look.
Good.
That's our problem.
Good news.
That gives you an idea how cold it is in here.
Regardless of how low the temperature was inside, the morale was still very high.
Look at that. What a drive.
We were making great progress and it was amazing to see a London black cab in the mountains of Austria. But snow is very different to the terrain we are going to be tackling later in this video. Another reason we are in a cab is so we have a meter to know how much to charge our F1 driver. And the current meter total so far,
What's around 4,600?
it's a good job F1 drivers have deep pockets because the total fare of this journey is going to be a very expensive trip to work. We have a ridiculous long journey to Abu Dhabi, but right now we are on one of the most beautiful roads I have had the pleasure of driving on.
I wonder if a black cab has ever been up roads like this before. If we go off the road now, we are definitely dead. 100% we're dead.
And everyone thought we were going to die in Iraq. It was actually ended up dying in Italy in the Alps.
Hit by a bear. Look at that.
Wow, look at that.
Despite our early troubles, we had managed to take our taxi cab through the Swiss and Italian Alps, and this is just the beginning. We still need to get a move on as we have 300 miles to our next overnight stop in Croatia.
Welcome to Slovenia.
Another significant moment in the taxi.
£6,000. There you go, pal.
Cheers, Mush.
Zdravo. Right, this is the daily check. Make sure we got water and oil.
Need to top the water up a little bit, I think.
The taxi did keep drinking water, which isn't a big issue right now in the cold, but if we get to the extreme heat in the desert, it's not going to be that simple.
Ready? Welcome to
Croatia!
There we go. I'd like to say how many countries that is, but I'd say about 8.
24.
Right, that's another one ticked off. Croatia done. Whoop, whoop.
So end of day 3, but the following morning, me and Bagsy were having a disagreement.
Right, do you want me to take over because we're never going to get there at this rate?
But you drive slower than me.
How'd you work that out?
Because you do.
Right, we need to sort this once and for all.
From one racer to another, there is only one place to do this.
Okay, so this is the race round Auto Karting Centre. Now this is going to decide who is the fastest once and for all. Can we not just do it in something else?
I'm not really sure this is a great idea. You know, as far as ideas go,
yes.
Not sure that racing the taxi that we need to get to Abu Dhabi in is the best idea, considering we've probably still got
3,500 miles. For the record right now, this is his fault, okay? That's for the record. And I just want to show you something. There's 9 go-karts right there, which could easily sort all of this out without any damage and any problems.
Well, it's not the same, is it though? Because a go-kart drives differently to a taxi.
So who's the fastest around a go-kart track in a slow taxi?
Correct.
Brilliant, which is probably going to break.
And then we're going to have in a whole world of new problems.
Brilliant. Right, let's go.
Let's go.
You're first.
And to make this a fair test, we had some subscribers from Serbia to do independent timings.
3, 2, 1, go!
Oh! I was in the wrong gear!
It's going.
Oh, this is so stupid. If this breaks.
Last corner onto the main straight.
Using all the track.
So with Bagsy setting his lap, it's now my turn to shine.
Remember, we've got another 3,000 miles to go yet.
No matter what everybody thinks, this is still a race.
3, 2, cheating! I thought he said not to go too fast.
Tyre squeal.
Literally had the turbo coming in as he pulled away.
I've got to beat Steve. I've had him over here. I told him that we weren't racing, but I am definitely racing. It's part of my life. I can't help but race.
If we don't make it to Abu Dhabi, it's because of him. Mark McCann.
Hard into the corner.
All I needed was for this taxi to hold up for the rest of the lap, as I really did not want to break it, as our trip would be ending here.
You're a tyre squeal. What are you doing? Alright, go slower! Well,
Once and for all, we're going to find out who is the fastest London taxi driver in the middle of Serbia.
Okay, so you went first and you did 1 minute and 22 seconds. You
Ooh.
went after him and you did 1 minute 11 seconds.
11 seconds faster. Right, next we are going Bulgaria. The Yugo, the Serbian Yugo. Fair play. Thanks lads, that was an amazing few hours. Right, Bulgaria, Sofia. Big drive, but the fastest man is driving.
With Speedy behind the wheel, we could make some progress with our next big goal, the Turkey border. But first we headed through the amazing Bulgaria with a lunch stop to meet with Connor Campagini to eat steak he had cooked out of his Lamborghini Urus, which he actually lives in. We also met some amazing locals.
We're gonna be in video.
Yeah, you would.
Oh, yay!
And visited a local car club. They also let the slowest driver, Bagsy, have a skid in one of their cars.
He can actually do it, can't he? I thought it was all AI.
At the end of day 5, we Airbnb'd an amazing apartment.
I think you're the boss.
Yeah, you could tell.
100,000
pound.
Yeah. I will do it now. I will do it now. 100,000 level.
that's right, mate. He has been to Turkey, yes.
Turkey is tomorrow.
This is where it gets tough. Flying in on holiday is different to what we are doing. Driving into Turkey is famously difficult and there is no alternative route. So if we get denied access, it's the end of the road trip. On the way to the border, we pass through one of Bulgaria's slums.
2 dogs. Oh, so dogs fighting.
There's definitely a lot of gang warfare going on around here. Yeah.
Soon we got the feeling we might not be welcome.
I don't like the way he moved.
Yeah, no, I'd get the out of here. He looked angry. He looked angry as didn't he?
This place was scary and it definitely put us on edge. We have families at home which need and love us, and we are visiting places which we just simply didn't feel safe. Now, the Turkey border.
This is the big Turkey border. Here we go. This is where we lose Reese.
What?
Listen, you are prey, you are bartering power.
Immediately, we got turned away.
So what's the current problem?
Well, going into Turkey, we kind of knew that not having insurance
because our UK insurance doesn't really cover Turkey because no one's stupid enough to drive all the way to Turkey. So basically, you have to come to a little office here and get the correct insurance, which hopefully will allow us to continue our journey.
But this created an issue, as we are ignorant British people who do not speak the native language. This language barrier had us at this window, turned away and sent to this window.
Go to customer.
We were sent back to the first window.
She said to come here.
Where we were sent back to the window we had just come from. This was a 3-hour process of photos, documents, Googling and help from locals. Eventually, £73 later, we were allowed to pass.
Welcome to Turkey! That was a difficult one, but we're in.
We've
right,
made it.
you're back. Net.
What? Back again.
Turkey was potentially the easiest border. My biggest worry since we started planning this 11 months ago is Saudi Arabia, which simply says you cannot drive a right-hand drive vehicle in this country. So if we get turned away, it's the end of our trip.
Right, back on the road. We've just left Istanbul. We're way too late because we've been shopping.
Don't know if you can tell.
And I've also got my Redditch Rolex and my Gucci suit.
Now, myself and everyone in the cab thought we knew Turkey has beaches, Jet2 holidays and a sun. How wrong we were.
Look at this. This is crazy.
Turkey is in fact massive and it's going to take us 2 days to get across. But even getting to this point is a big W.
Right, big news. Amazing news. We're halfway.
Yeah.
This is it, the halfway point from London to Abu Dhabi.
So obviously, I'm pretty sure that we've gone the easy half up until now.
Because now we are going to some of the most dangerous places in the world. The war-torn country of Iraq. And all of this is for the maddest road trip to take an F1 driver to work. With such a long crossing, we drove late into the night across the Turkey mountains, and the temperature dropped to minus 11 degrees, which means lots and lots of dangerous black ice.
Where are we going to?
That was a close call, and this extreme cold was affecting the taxi.
So the temperature of the car has dropped that low that now the engine is cold. It was always going to be a grueler, but this turned into a real long one.
Because we're just not getting any warm air from the engine, but that's either because the engine's not actually hot. And before anybody comes at me in the comments, there is water in the engine. There is water and antifreeze in the engine. I've checked it about 5 times.
Why didn't you check the fuse in the heater? Are you sure you turned the dial right?
Yeah, tell me in the comments section how to fix a TX4 black taxi to get the heating to work in the middle of Turkey!
This was brutal, a real low point. We were cold, tired and in real danger. No one else was on these roads.
Listen, that's the road we're driving down. All joking aside, it's just we're in a situation now where we can't stop. Like, we can't stop, we just got to keep going because it's the only place we can sleep, so of course get back in.
And the black ice continued to be a problem.
The main thing to remember is don't overcompensate. Like that. Just like that.
We did a very slow, slidey journey for 15 hours. And again, it was 5 AM before we reached our hotel and finally got into bed. The next day, we were treated to a stunning road. It was truly magical. But let me tell you how we found this road in the middle of Turkey.
Now we are using the Mivia app today, and as you can see, it's took us on this absolutely beautiful road. And would you believe we're in Turkey?
Mivia has a library of the best driving roads for you to choose from on your road trip.
But if I had been using Apple Maps, then it would have taken us on the fastest route, which is usually the motorway, and we'd have never have seen what we're seeing today.
Mivia is the all-in-one road trip app.
See, look, there's police.
Oh,
But if it was a speed camera, it would have told us where it is and we'd still have a clean licence. Really good as well, Mivia offer you discounts on stuff you're going to need to buy, like tyres, parking and even hotel rooms with an average saving of £50 per night. Now we've been using the Mivia app and it's taken us on what I can only describe as one of the most beautiful roads I've ever seen. And would you believe we're in Turkey and it's snowing? The app was only released in April, meaning in the next 6 months it's going to get better and better and become the ultimate road trip companion. Now, link in the description for you to download the app for free yourself. Get out there and start making some memories like we are today. And a massive thank you to Mivia for sponsoring this video. A few more hours behind the wheel and our trip was alongside the Syria border. A country sadly in active war right now.
The war in Syria. Syrian rebels have changed the contours of a conflict.
This new flare-up in fighting has already claimed hundreds of lives, including civilians.
Imagine being stuck in there and not being allowed out.
From our media, you know, we obviously hear the worst of Syria, but you know, all you can do is hope that it's not as bad as they tell you it is in certain places. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's all you can hope for, isn't it?
The Syrian border is currently totally closed, so it's impossible for us to pass through the country, which is why we had to go along the border to go around it to get to Iraq. But this was a common sight in Iraq not too many years ago. War and devastation, leaving cities in ruins. But we had managed to get a visa to enter Iraq. This part of the trip has been a worry for our families, but this is our only way through to drive to Abu Dhabi. So hopefully the taxi will get through the border control and we can deliver this Formula One driver to work. Already, it looked way scarier than any other border we had seen so far. The realisation of where we were had truly sunken in.
It is pretty intimidating, isn't it?
What we just saw, I don't think we captured it, but I think what we just saw was very spooky.
Yeah. Matey just came to the window and went, name, Stephen, from UK?
In my head, I was hoping they'd be more lenient for 3 idiots in a taxi. But in case we had some resistance, I came fully equipped to sweeten the deal.
We're good.
Oh,
We're so
honestly give up.
we're definitely not getting it.
YouTubers.
For now, I'll zip up my top and take this serious to try and get past the border interrogation.
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
You and you both. You can stay. I can stay.
Okay, so we are now walking down a massive corridor. Steve had to go in the car. We have no idea why we can separate him from him right now.
Okay, so we've got through, which is very scary. Steve, we're not sure where Steve is right now. They took him away somewhere separate. Now we've got through, we can see the taxi, but we're not sure whether we're supposed to be walking towards it, because we are in fact walking the opposite way. Where the hell Steve is, we have no idea.
So me and Reese went and stood by the car. Unfortunately, Steve was missing and he had the keys. Then a guy came over to talk to us.
Yeah, you.
Guys, what are you doing here? Look at the friends.
What are you doing? You
How
right?
are you doing? You right?
Yeah, you?
You're right. You're right.
Yeah, we're driving from London to the Grand Prix, Formula One Grand Prix.
Oh, right.
Eventually, they let Steve go and we finally were reunited after a few hours.
He's here.
Yeah. Is your driver?
Yeah.
Really?
Hello.
From England.
Nice to meet you.
Amir.
Amir, nice to meet you. Stephen.
Nice Stephen.
Amir then offered to help us to try and get through the border. His translation was so useful as this is what has been holding us up before. Communication is key, and also knowing where to go and who to see was making it so fast. All the signs are in Arabic, so we literally had no idea even where to start. The more people we met, the safer we started to feel.
How are you? Yeah, not bad, yeah? Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you too. How are you? What's that? This customer has got.
Oh, we can't tell you. Secret.
Secret?
It's a part for Formula One. I suppose we really should tell the customers.
And within only just a couple of hours, Amir had got us, our car, and all our filming equipment into Iraq.
We are actually driving in Iraq. We've got through the border. This is unbelievable. Obviously we've still got to be really careful about safety and stuff like that, but right now our little taxi has got all the way from London to Iraq.
It's mad, isn't it?
Our first stop was not in our schedule. Our new friend Amir was insistent we visited his family's house to meet everyone and share a meal.
This is Rita. Nice to meet you. I've never seen a settee as big as this.
Yeah.
The settee.
Yeah, the city. Yeah, yes. Yeah. It's a different thing. It's very connection. Very family is very connected in this city. Very connected.
This was literally amazing and something I never saw coming.
What an experience. Treated like kings, literally.
We were then taken into another room to be greeted with what can only be described as a banquet.
Oh, wow.
This is crazy.
And just imagine yesterday we were very nervous to cross the border. And now here we are.
Like, this is just a lesson, isn't it? A lesson of life where, like, yet again, do not believe everything you hear on the news.
Please help yourself. Yeah.
This was a jaw-dropping memory we will never forget, but we had to eat up and continue our long journey urgently for one big reason.
The only problem we have got now is we've been told, even by Amir, to not drive in the dark. But unfortunately now, we have no choice. It gets dark, he said, about 4:30, so most of our journey tonight is going to be in the pitch black. But we have to get to Baghdad to keep on schedule.
The roads in Iraq are far from what we're used to. There were queued lorries all over the highway, so everyone headed to the dirt to overtake.
Wait for him, he's going to come.
It seemed like there were no rules, and then we realised what the hold-up was, and something which caught us totally off guard. We had been stopped at a military checkpoint. It literally looked like a live war zone. Bulletproof personnel carriers and soldiers heavily armed. What the hell had we got ourselves into? And now we had no Amir. We were in this alone.
London.
London.
Okay? London to Abu Dhabi. London to Abu Dhabi.
Here now it was.
Stop.
Hey, stop.
Stop here.
We were told to get out of the car and escorted out of sight of the road. We had no idea why or what was going on.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
These checkpoints were every 20 minutes down the road, but they were only there to try and keep everyone safe. Soldiers dressed in camo, asking for selfies and searching our YouTube channel to subscribe. What the hell was happening was mind-blowing. This was surreal. We were driving in Iraq, a country everyone had told us not to go, and even the sunset was beautiful. But then we arrived at another checkpoint.
Okay.
How are you? Good, thank you.
Dashboard.
Yes, no problem.
We were worried and intimidating, being told to stop by a man dressed for war, checking us up and down with a machine gun.
Where are you from?
London.
London. Welcome.
Thank you.
But then after a few minutes, they'd be joking and telling us how utterly crazy we were driving 4,500 miles to a car race.
The road kind of just ended.
We carried on through the night. It's just a shame the road isn't as nice as the people. There were holes bigger than footballs.
Look at our lights as well. Could be 4 potholes and we wouldn't know.
We were taking some big hits, but with morale high, every bang made us laugh.
I think I know why the monster can burst.
And the reality, driving in the dark to Baghdad was enjoyable and magical.
What's your name? Oh my God.
Only my beautiful wife Jane would truly get what happened next.
The password. I know. No. Also, please say password.
That is our joke password between me and Jane.
I know. What is wrong with you? I thought he meant guess the password.
I just shouted that at a very armed soldier. Oops. So we drove through the night in one of the most dangerous countries.
You know, why wouldn't somebody just be driving down the wrong side of the road?
Hello, thank you. Hello.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. This place is mad. It's amazing. Thank you.
Subscribe. Say subscribe. Subscribe.
This country, the people have been through hell. Heartbreak and grief, but we met nothing but good and kind people. Our government says it's off limits, but in reality, we have never felt so welcome. I'm not saying you should go on a package holiday here, but what I can tell you is it's full of normal human beings who want to talk, laugh, and smile.
Right, this is a big moment. We started off in London. We're now halfway across Iraq, and we're about to go to £20,000 metre. Here we go. 20 grand!
Get the two on there. There we go.
Well done, everybody. So if you want to live from London to Iraq, we can do it in about 2 weeks' time. It's going to cost you 20G.
I can safely speak for all three of us that had been the most enjoyable and interesting drive of the trip so far, and memories we will never forget. Everyone was so happy to see Iraq on the taxi door, and the scariest sticker on there had the warmest heart.
What's up, buddy? Hello, how are you? Very good. How are you doing? Good. Can I jump in? Jump in, bro. Let's go.
Let me introduce you, ma'am. So he's a local to here. Hit us up on Instagram. And he wants to show us around this amazing city.
Is Baghdad safe?
Oh yeah, you're good.
So tell us, is there much of a car culture here?
Oh yeah, definitely. They have a Revolta of North Baby Blue.
Do they?
Yeah.
We then met up with a local guy who is big time into his cars, just like us.
I drive this. This is my car.
Oh wow.
That's Archie. Yes, I have a big noise.
I think we need to hear.
How much power?
About 6,400.
6,400?
400, yes.
Wow, that's faster than your car. Who knew you'd have car culture in Iraq?
Amazing, isn't it? Go anywhere in the world, you just find somebody else that wants to rev their car.
Yeah, literally.
Bagsy is right. No matter where you are, one thing which brings us all together, including you guys watching this, is our passion and love for cars. But there is one place we wanted to see which is not related to cars, but extremely important to this beautiful country.
So this was probably one of the most significant moments for this whole country and city. So that there is where Saddam Hussein's statue physically was.
On this whole trip, this is a point that I really wanted to come and see. This is a massive piece of history over the last sort of 20 years, and to see this and be standing in this spot is amazing.
It's remarkable.
Yeah.
Pieces of history like this is why this country is regarded as unsafe and dangerous. But so far, the kind people we have met have been far from that. Then you see the contrast of military presence, and it levers you back out and reminds you where we actually are. So we're headed to the border to carry on our mission. Iraq has been amazing and the polar opposite to what we, and probably you, were expecting. Even the general loved my t-shirt.
I have my best t-shirt for you.
But a big sorry, as we may have got a few Iraq fines we need to pay. But now this may be where it all ends, the Saudi border.
Right, so this is my one, which, like, Steve was worried about Iraq, and this is my one. We've had so many reports that we now cannot get this taxi into Saudi Arabia. Google it says no. Like, this is a genuine problem. This is a massive, genuine problem which we might not overcome.
But as you can see, if we can't get through Saudi Arabia, there is no alternative driving route to our final destination, Abu Dhabi. But here we go, a quick drive through another country, Kuwait, and we attempt to enter the country which right-hand drive vehicles are banned. But the hope I am holding on to is our map down the side of our lovely taxi and three guys just having a bit of fun. So, the Saudi Arabia border.
Quick meter update, because it might be our last chance.
Yeah. 24,100 £18. Right, well I got you, thank you very much, because we did say please subscribe, because 75% of people on Mark 2 and 60% or something on the Mark 1. So if you're not, please do now.
But as we expected and worried, it didn't go our way.
Sorry, I don't understand. We have a problem?
The car,
Yes.
the start, the computer.
Doesn't come up on the computer.
Yeah, again, they start the capture the car, again come back.
Okay, so where do we need to go?
This
Because
office manager, alright?
Office minister. Okay, because
From what we understand, our car is not on the approved list. A right-hand drive cab is not a box they can tick. So we went begging to the supervising officer to find out a way around it, which is our last hope.
I have all the paperwork, and then when we get to the end, he says, no, office manager.
3 hours later, we had the break we needed, a little computer hack.
Tell him to write UED.
Just UED.
And he will see the car.
Perfect. Thank you.
I hope I can save you.
Oh. Thank you. Okay, so I think we've got away with this. Thank you.
We did it! Yes! We're in Saudi.
We've been there that long, they know his name. They went, Steve! Steve! We are doing Saudi Arabia.
In a right-hand drive car.
We are in Saudi Arabia in a right-hand drive car. If you Google that, you will see everyone says it's not possible. And we have just made it possible. Welcome to Saudi Arabia. We're in the desert.
We are in the desert in a black taxi that started in London and is now in Saudi Arabia.
And just it's in a camel. And we just had a wee. It was a wee stop. Keeping it real. Right, so we are.
You're walking your way.
We are. We've gone here, we've gone here, we've gone here, we've gone here. We are now there. So all we've got to do now, I'm still treading that, is Qatar and UAE. And then we've completed life.
We are now in the desert. It's a miracle. Early in this video, we were literally in the polar opposite extreme, driving this taxi through the Alps in deep snow. But I always planned if for some reason we got to Saudi, there is a very special place I want to take us.
Good morning. Day 10. Can't believe we've got this far, but we have.
Salam alaikum.
Salam. When I googled this and saw what was here, I was desperate to get here because what we're about to see is absolutely mind-blowing. It's called the edge of the world, and no matter what, we've got to get there, no matter what.
I think this is a completely bad idea. Because what Mark's failing to explain is that, yes, it's literally the edge of the world. It involves driving down the motorway for a bit and then off through here in our taxi. We've come this far. We've got all the way to Saudi Arabia in this London black cab, and now you want to basically go on safari in a London black taxi. Do you realise how close we are to the end? Right? So let's think about this. We could break down through two of them.
Steve doesn't want to go.
Right, let's go. 26 kilometres off-road to see one of the most beautiful sights the human eye will ever see.
That's literally somebody's sump guard. Good?
Yeah, you're fine. You good?
The whole cab's going, why are we not in London? How has this happened?
What was that?
No.
And another 50 metres, we found out what that noise was.
No problem.
What?
Bloody bang.
Maybe Steve was right.
I told you. Now what we got to do?
Got 2 spares.
Well, you better start unstrapping them.
Panicking.
This time I was more than happy to get my hands dirty to try and get to the edge of the world.
The RAC all of a sudden, did you? Christ. Mark! For f***'s sake. Really hurt my wrist.
You're right.
No.
Ow!
Come on.
You're going to get really dirty.
Where do you reckon the jack's going to point to?
Subtle.
Don't need the jack. I can now lift it with my extra energy. And I'm very hydrated. Right.
I've had some decent breakdowns in my time, but never thought I would be changing a wheel in the middle of the desert.
Right, onward. That was easy.
In 35-degree heat, we are pushing us and our little taxi to the extreme. As we previously feared, the desert heat, slow speed and the tough terrain were causing radiator issues. The taxi was needing lots of water.
Hot on the gauge.
Is it?
So we're overheating.
Yeah. Have we got enough water to put in the engine and enough water for us to carry on drinking?
But the route was getting worse and worse, and now a drop I don't think we can possibly cross.
Oh no!
Don't think you're going to get through here, mate.
There's no way we'll get down there.
I mean, even if we get down it, you ain't going to get back up it.
Then a 4x4 arrived.
Madame, I'm afraid. Maybe go back.
And they saw even they couldn't make it.
If they can't get down here, like our exhaust is like that far off the ground.
So we use someone else's footage?
Yeah.
So this is where we were trying to get. A site in Saudi Arabia which is like no other in the world. But my God, we had tried. But the heat, slow progress and continuous rocks had definitely taken its toll on the taxi.
Imagine.
But as long as it kept running, we were going to continue going forward. And eventually, after a few more overheat stops,
Definitely hot.
and a slight mishap with the development part,
That looks like a problem right there.
Well, of course it's a problem. Top secret development part is now in many top secret development parts.
the next morning we got to our last border to enter the UAE.
Welcome to the UAE, our last border crossing and then the short 3-hour drive down to Abu Dhabi. And I am in the richest region in the world, so I have got my fully legit Louis Vuitton t-shirt and shorts.
Didn't you get that from Turkey?
Who would have thought beating all the odds just 3 hours to go? What a journey. 4,500 miles. We had passed through 21 countries, queued for hours and hours at borders, spent hundreds of hours driving. We've had moments where we were meters from disaster. The highs and lows have been more extreme than we ever thought.
Did any of you actually think we'd make it?
No, I didn't think we'd make it. I honestly believed we were going to get to like Germany and the thing was just going to die on us.
If you've enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. And then maybe we'll do it again next year. No, not a chance.
But we went through all of this so we can take an F1 driver to work.
When we pass underneath this bridge, we have completed it. 4,500 miles in this taxi across 21 countries. Yeah! Yes!
Why is it raining in the taxi?
But unfortunately, we have a little issue.
So the mission of this trip was to deliver the Formula One race team to the last round of the Abu Dhabi Formula One Grand Prix, which we did succeed, but unfortunately we've not put this in this video because the corporate hoops we had to jump through would not be true to our channel.
We will be posting the entire interview on our Mark II channel, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss that. But the question we all need answering, what was the cost on the clock?
So, final meter reading. So if you got picked up in a black cab from Big Ben and he dropped you off at Abu Dhabi, it would cost you £30,608.60.
What a great deal.
Remember to look out for the full interview coming soon on the second channel, and we will see you next Tuesday, 6 p.m.